So I've recorded this too many times. So many things have happened since I started trying to record this, make it clear, make sure that I'm precise and respectful and all the things. But it's a story that I need to share. So everybody knows that you might have seen a video that I did where I am talking about my relationships with black girls when I was growing up. I loved them. I loved them very much. And there was one girl, her name, I'm not going to give her name, but she was kind of the mother. She was the mother of us all. She spun us around on the merry-go-rounds. Best runner in our elementary school was a black girl. She was awesome. She was also incredibly smart. And then I had these great relationships with these girls. I loved them. They invited me in. Anyway, something happened, elementary school, junior high, into high school, and I still maintained relationships with all these girls. I loved them very much. I had this admiration and respect for who they were. They welcomed me. They took care of me. I was one of the smallest kids in our school. I just had this affinity for them. I felt included. So at some point in junior high, this is a hard share, but it's based on, and it's me being responsible for, and let me just say this. I've never had to apologize for being white. I've had to apologize for being a-hole. And that is the point. So in high school, I was sitting on the back of a desk. I think I was a sophomore. I was sitting on the back of a desk and talking to another girl. We were having a back and forth. The bell was about to ring, and this one girl who I'd been very good friends with in elementary school comes in and she's yelling at me. She's tall. She's much taller than me, and she's much stronger than me. And she just starts yelling at me. I don't know why. I don't know. And then she's like, "Get off my desk." She just starts yelling and yelling. This was one of my black girlfriends that we had kind of gone distant. We had kind of gone in separate ways, but she was still in one of my classes. When she started yelling at me, she was towering over me, and she's just like, yelling, "Get off my desk." I just started welling up in this fear, this emotional, I don't know what came over me. I don't know what came or where this came from. But I said, you know what? I wouldn't have a problem you coming in here and asking me nicely to get off your desk. What I don't appreciate is being yelled at. You don't have to be such about it. I used the N-word. I don't know where it came. It came from some place. It was the first time I'd ever used that word. I knew it wasn't a right word. I knew it wasn't the word that I should have used. But it came from a place of fear. It came up from a place of wanting to hurt with my words. I didn't know that at the time. Looking back on it, I know that's what it was. I wanted to hurt her because I was afraid. In that moment, I was afraid. I looked at her eyes, my friend, and her eyes, tears welled up in her eyes. You could tell, and she could have dropped me. You could just tell. She was holding it all back in. She was holding it in. She was crying. Just right there on the edge of sadness and pain. And I did too. I started crying. I didn't understand it in my youth. And I have lived with that every single day of my life. Kids in the class heard it. I was asked to apologize. I remember apologizing, but thinking that word, "I'm sorry," those words, "I'm sorry," were never, ever going to remedy who I was in that moment, what I made her feel, or what I created to make that feel. I don't know where it came from, but it deadly came out of a place of fear. From that moment forward, I carried that around with me forever, knowing that I would never, ever use that word. In light of everything that's happening right now, it's fear. And they don't understand it. They're like, elementary school. I've never had to apologize for being white. I had to apologize for being an asshole. And we had to apologize for a system that holds people down. That same system isn't a part of making us better. It is a part of protecting the powers that divide us, that separate us, that infuse us with an illegitimate fear of ourselves. I've recorded this video multiple times because I want to make sure that I live with that. I remember it as a moment of sadness, but I don't know what I think she remembers it. And it's even obviously far more painful for her. Far more painful for her. I remember her first name. I'm not going to mention it. This was a great person. And the thing about it is, white isn't a culture. It is used to divide. And the people that are doing all this are terrified. They're terrified of the files coming out. They're not one person, not one more person, because anyone else who is being hurt from what's happening right now, it is because of billionaires trying to take control. And for every one of the people that are ICE agents supporting this, they don't care about you. They're using your hate and they're using your fear and they're using you. Because it would be harder for you to look inside of you and say, I am sorry. And then take consistent action for the rest of your life to amend something that is absolutely unforgivable. The second time I ever used that word was in a movie where I was playing a racist, awful human being. That movie was called Savaged or Avenged. Look it up. It didn't go well. It didn't go well for the brothers. It didn't go well. So you're doing the bidding of billionaires and corporations. Not one of those corporations is worth one life. And that's the difference between them and hiding these files, hiding these Epstein files. That's what's happening. They don't want them to come out. There's a lot of information out there. Everything that you and these guys, all right, I'm going to release this. I am sorry.